Here we'll discuss how to write a ratio. We're given a few pieces of information up above. We're told that the wing of a nursing home has 2 registered nurses, 6 nursing assistants, and 20 patients. We're asked to find the ratio of registered nurses to nursing assistants. Let's now look at the number of registered nurses we have first, because that is the first phrase we'll need to look at. We can see that the question says we have 2 registered nurses. So we'll write our nurses first, and we'll write the number 2. Then, where we see the word 2, we will place a colon. I'm doing that in blue here. Then we are asked about nursing assistants after the word 2. We can see that we have 6 nursing assistants, and therefore, where we see the words nursing assistants, we'll replace that with 6. We will state this ratio as 2 to 6. We may also write this ratio as a fraction. When we write this as a fraction, the first part of the phrase, that's the registered nurses, will be on the top of that fraction. Then the nursing assistants, that's the second part of the phrase, will go to the bottom of that fraction. So when we write our fraction, we'll write nurses on top and assistants on bottom. Our nurses were 2 and our assistants were 6. Therefore, we can say our fraction will be 2/6. This is the other way we can write a ratio. The ratio form would be 2:6, and the fraction form would be 2/6. You may be asked to change this fraction to lowest terms. To put a fraction in lowest terms, we'll try to find a number that divides both 2 and 6 evenly, because those are the numbers in our fraction. We'll place 2 on the top and 6 on the bottom. Since our numbers are fairly small, we can think of a small number to divide by that could still divide 2 evenly and 6 evenly. Let's try just dividing by 2, though. On the top, we'll take 2 divided by 2, and if we enter that into a calculator, you might recognize that's 1. If you've practiced some math, you may notice that when you take a number divided by itself, you will always get 1. Then if we take 6 divided by 2, we'll end up with 3. Therefore, our ratio in lowest terms would be 1:3, or 1/3 if you want to state it as a fraction. If you'd like to verify this in a calculator, we'll go to the calculator now. In our calculator, we'll enter 2, then we'll press our fraction button, the ABC button on this calculator, and then say 6. When we press the equal sign, the calculator will reduce this to lowest terms automatically. We'll end up with 1/3, which is what we got when we divided by 2 anyway. So if you're ever in any doubt if you've performed your lowest terms correctly, you can always go to your calculator to verify. Generally, if you're ever asked to express a ratio, it's usually okay to go ahead and change to lowest terms. Here we'll do another example. This time we're asked for the ratio of nursing assistants to patients. Our number of nursing assistants was 6, so in the first part of the phrase, we'll place the number 6. Then, where we see the word 2, we'll place a colon. The second part of the phrase says patients. We can see that we have 20 patients. Therefore, we'll say our ratio of nursing assistants to patients is 6:20. This will be our answer in ratio form. Now, if we want to change to a fraction, that means the first part of the phrase will go to the top, and then the second part of the phrase will go to the bottom of whatever fraction we're going to write. So let's rewrite this as a fraction, and we'll have 6/20. This will be the fraction form of this ratio. Once again, we can change to lowest terms. We'll begin with our 6 over our 20, and let's think of some numbers that could divide 6 and 20. Let's start with some of our lower numbers. Now, ordinarily, we would think of 1 first, but dividing by 1 will always give us the same answer back. So let's skip that one and go to the next number up. That's 2. If we try taking 6 divided by 2 and 20 divided by 2, we could say 6 divided by 2 will give us 3, and 20 divided by 2 will give us 10. So now we have 3 over 10. Now we may not be sure if that's lowest terms yet, so let's see if we can try dividing by anything else. We could try dividing by 2 again. I'll rewrite this over on the right-hand side of the screen, and we'll try dividing by 2. If we take 10 divided by 2 on the bottom, we will get 5. But if we take 3 divided by 2, we can check this out in the calculator. In our calculator, if we take 3 and then press the division key, and then press 2, and then equals, we get 1.5. That does not divide evenly, and so that will not take us to lowest terms, because in lowest terms, we must have whole numbers. So if we tried writing 1.5 over 5, that would be incorrect. We must only have whole numbers in order to be lowest terms. Well, the next number up from 2 would be 3. So let's try this again, taking our 3 and our 10 and dividing both of them by 3. If we take 3 divided by itself, as I said earlier in the video, taking any number divided by itself gives an automatic 1. But as for 10 divided by 3, we'll check in the calculator. If we take our 10 and then press division and then press 3, notice we get another decimal number, 3.3, repeating. So this will not work for lowest terms either. So for the same reason as our last answer, 1.5 over 5 was no good, and 1 over 3.3 is no good, because we must have whole numbers only when we go to lowest terms. Now, if we tried going to 4, 3 over any number bigger than it will always give you a decimal. That 4 will definitely be too big. So since we know that decimals are no good, we know that no number higher than 3 could work either. That means this is where we stop, right here at our 3/10. This will be lowest terms. Now let's verify this in the calculator by entering our 6 over 20 and see what the calculator gives us. We'll press 6, and then the fraction key, ABC, and then press 20. When we hit the equal sign, that does give us 3 over 10. Therefore, the calculator has matched with what we came up with on our own. We can say our lowest terms ratio is 3 assistants to 10 patients.